Picture this. You're at a family gathering, and the smallest comment or misstep ignites a sudden, intense anger. Maybe it's frustration from feeling unheard or the sting of being dismissed by those you love. It happens more often than you'd like to admit. But here's the thing. That anger isn't just an emotional outburst. It's a health risk hiding in plain sight. Studies have shown that uncontrolled rage, particularly in seniors over 70, can lead to life-threatening health issues. The impact goes far beyond a fleeting moment of frustration. It can damage your heart, your brain, your immune system, and even your social life. Left unchecked, it can rob you of your independence, happiness, and ultimately, your life. Before we dive into the 7 shocking secrets that could save your life, I'd appreciate it if you'd like this post, subscribe to our channel, and share your experiences in the comments below. Let's build a community where we can support each other on this journey. Secret 1. The heart attack connection. Anger can be more than just an emotional outburst. It can be a silent, deadly threat to your heart. According to research published in the European Heart Journal, an uncontrolled burst of rage can double the risk of a heart attack within the 2 hours following the episode. This startling statistic is not just a scare tactic. It's rooted in the way your body responds to intense anger. When you become angry, your body releases adrenaline, a stress hormone that activates the fight or flight response. This surge of adrenaline causes your blood pressure to spike, your heart rate to accelerate, and your blood vessels to constrict. For an aging heart, especially one already burdened by conditions like high cholesterol or hypertension, these sudden changes can be catastrophic. Your heart is essentially thrown into overdrive, increasing the likelihood of a heart attack. Take George, for example. A 73-year-old veteran, George had always been known for his resilience. But after a heated argument with his son over a trivial matter, he experienced a sharp pain in his chest. Hours later, he was rushed to the hospital, where doctors confirmed he had narrowly survived a heart attack. They told him that the sudden spike in adrenaline triggered by his anger had nearly cost him his life. So what can you do to prevent this? One effective method is controlled breathing. Try inhaling deeply for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 4 seconds, and then exhaling slowly for 6 seconds. This simple technique can quickly lower your heart rate and ease tension. Additionally, practicing meditation for just 10 minutes a day can significantly reduce stress and improve heart health over time. Creating a habit of mindfulness can be the key to protecting your heart from the harmful effects of anger. Secret 2. The stroke risk. Intense anger is not only a threat to your heart, it can also wreak havoc on your brain. When you become enraged, your body triggers the fight or flight response, causing blood pressure to rise rapidly. For seniors over 70 whose blood vessels are often more fragile due to age-related conditions, this sudden spike can be disastrous. Studies have shown that chronic anger and unmanaged stress can cause long-term damage to blood vessels. Repeated bouts of anger contribute to hypertension, inflammation, and even the buildup of fatty plaques along arterial walls. Over time, these weakened blood vessels become prone to ruptures, particularly those in the brain. When a blood vessel bursts, it leads to a hemorrhagic stroke, a severe and potentially fatal event. Hemorrhagic strokes are especially dangerous because they involve bleeding directly into the brain, causing swelling and destruction of brain cells. Symptoms can include sudden weakness, loss of speech, confusion, or even loss of consciousness. Unlike ischemic strokes caused by blood clots, hemorrhagic strokes often result in more extensive brain damage and are harder to recover from. Consider the story of Margaret, a 78-year-old woman who had always prided herself on her independence. After a heated argument with her daughter about moving into assisted living, Margaret stormed off in frustration. Moments later, she collapsed to the floor, her body paralyzed on one side. The doctors later confirmed she had suffered a massive hemorrhagic stroke. Her blood pressure had spiked so dramatically during her anger episode that a blood vessel in her brain ruptured. How can you avoid such a catastrophe? Prevention begins with regular checkups to monitor your blood pressure. Keeping your blood pressure within a healthy range is essential for protecting delicate blood vessels. Additionally, engaging in relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga can help you control sudden spikes in blood pressure when anger strikes. Making lifestyle changes to reduce stress can significantly lower your risk of experiencing a stroke. Secret 3. The immune system breakdown. Chronic anger doesn't just affect your mind and emotions, it can also weaken your body's natural defenses. When you experience intense or prolonged anger, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. While these hormones are helpful in short bursts, providing energy and focus during emergencies, their constant presence in your bloodstream can be harmful. Cortisol in particular is known for its immune-suppressing properties. High cortisol levels interfere with the immune system's ability to produce white blood cells and antibodies that are essential for fighting off infections. This means that when you remain angry for extended periods, your body's ability to defend itself against illnesses is significantly reduced. Studies have shown that seniors who experience chronic anger and stress are more likely to suffer from inflammation-related illnesses. Inflammation, the body's natural response to harmful stimuli, becomes harmful when it persists for too long. Persistent inflammation weakens the immune system, making older adults more susceptible to respiratory infections, digestive issues, and even autoimmune diseases. For seniors whose immune systems are already weakened due to age, this added strain can be devastating. Take Robert, for example. A 75-year-old man who often found himself irritated and upset, Robert noticed he was catching colds more frequently. Even minor infections seemed to linger longer than they should. His doctor explained that the constant stress he was putting on his body through anger was compromising his immune system's ability to function effectively. What can you do to protect yourself? Start by focusing on a balanced diet rich in antioxidants. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains are excellent for boosting immune function and fighting inflammation. Regular physical activity, such as walking, swimming, or yoga, helps regulate stress hormones and promotes overall well-being. Additionally, finding emotional outlets like painting, writing, or gardening can help release tension and keep your immune system strong. By actively working to reduce anger, you can build a healthier, more resilient body. Secret 4. The cognitive decline. Chronic anger doesn't just harm your heart or blood vessels, it can also gradually erode your cognitive abilities. When you experience intense anger repeatedly, your body releases high levels of cortisol, a stress hormone that, over time, can be highly detrimental to brain health. The hippocampus, a part of the brain responsible for memory formation and learning, is particularly vulnerable to damage from prolonged cortisol exposure. Studies have demonstrated that elevated cortisol levels can shrink the hippocampus, making it harder for the brain to form new memories or retrieve existing ones. This damage can contribute to memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and even an increased risk of developing conditions like Alzheimer's disease. When cortisol levels remain high for extended periods, they interfere with the brain's ability to regenerate cells and maintain neural connections. This breakdown in cognitive function doesn't just affect memory. It can also impair decision-making, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. As anger persists, it becomes a vicious cycle where cognitive decline leads to frustration, and frustration feeds further anger. Consider the case of Henry, a retired professor who had spent his life priding himself on his sharp intellect. As his anger issues grew more frequent, he began struggling to recall names, dates, and important details. Everyday tasks became challenging, and conversations left him feeling confused and embarrassed. What Henry didn't realize was that his unchecked anger was slowly damaging his brain's ability to function properly. So how can you protect your mind from the harmful effects of chronic anger? Engage in activities that promote cognitive health. Puzzles, reading, and learning new skills can all help strengthen the brain's neural connections. Regular social interactions are also crucial, as engaging conversations and emotional support can boost cognitive resilience. Additionally, mindfulness practices like meditation can help lower cortisol levels, giving your brain a much-needed break from stress. Keeping your mind active and healthy is just as important as maintaining physical fitness. Secret 5. The fall risk. Anger doesn't just affect your emotions, it can also impact your physical stability. For seniors over 70, the sudden physical changes that accompany anger can lead to dangerous falls, a serious health risk that often results in long-term complications. When you become angry, your body undergoes several physiological changes. Your muscles tense, your heart rate increases, and your blood pressure spikes. This sudden surge of adrenaline can also cause dizziness, lightheadedness, or even disorientation. For an aging body that may already struggle with balance or coordination, these symptoms can be a recipe for disaster. Research has shown that seniors who experience frequent anger episodes are more likely to suffer from falls. The combination of heightened muscle tension and decreased coordination makes even simple movements, like standing up or navigating stairs, significantly more hazardous. Falls are particularly concerning for older adults because they often lead to fractures, hospitalization, and a prolonged recovery process. Consider the story of Margaret, an 80-year-old woman who had always been fiercely independent. One afternoon, after a heated argument with her son, she stormed off to her bedroom. As her anger continued to simmer, she became lightheaded and stumbled over a loose rug. The fall resulted in a broken hip, a setback that required months of painful rehabilitation. For Margaret, what began as a moment of frustration turned into a long-term struggle with mobility and independence. So how can you protect yourself from anger-induced falls? First, practice calming techniques such as deep breathing or guided meditation to reduce muscle tension and steady your nerves. Ensuring your living space is free from tripping hazards like loose rugs or clutter is essential. Installing grab bars in bathrooms or along stairways, it can provide additional support. Engaging in balance-enhancing exercises, such as Tai Chi or yoga, can also improve your coordination and reduce the risk of falls. Keeping your emotions in check can be just as important for maintaining your balance as strengthening your muscles. Secret 6. The social isolation. Anger can be a powerful, overwhelming emotion. When it becomes a constant presence in your life, it doesn't just affect your health. It can also drive away the people you care about most. Uncontrolled anger often leads to strained relationships with friends and family, gradually pushing them away until isolation becomes a harsh reality. The impact of anger on social connections is profound. When anger is frequent and intense, it can create an environment of fear, resentment, or misunderstanding. Loved ones may begin to avoid interactions, fearing another outburst or feeling hurt by previous encounters. Over time, even close family members may distance themselves, leaving you feeling abandoned and misunderstood. Studies have shown that chronic anger is closely linked to social isolation, which poses severe health risks for seniors. Isolation is not just a matter of feeling lonely. It can increase the risk of cognitive decline, depression, and cardiovascular problems. According to research, loneliness can be as detrimental to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Without regular social interactions, emotional well-being deteriorates, making it even harder to break free from anger's grip. Consider the story of Walter, a 76-year-old man who had always been known for his temper. Over the years, his outbursts became more frequent, particularly after losing his wife. His children gradually stopped calling, and friends drifted away. Left alone with his anger, Walter's health declined rapidly. His isolation led to severe depression, which only fueled his anger further. A vicious cycle that left him feeling more alone than ever. How can you break this pattern? Rebuilding relationships starts with recognizing the impact anger has on your social life. Reaching out to loved ones, apologizing when necessary, and making an effort to communicate calmly can begin the healing process. Additionally, participating in community activities, clubs, or volunteer groups can help rebuild your social network and improve emotional well-being. Remember, rebuilding connections takes time and effort, but the rewards, improved health, happiness, and a renewed sense of purpose, are well worth it. Secret 7, the shortened lifespan. Uncontrolled anger doesn't just steal your peace of mind, it can also shorten your life. When anger becomes a frequent, unmanageable presence, its impact on your health is both immediate and long-term. The cumulative effect of chronic anger and stress takes a toll on nearly every aspect of your well-being. ultimately reducing both the quality and length of your life. Research has consistently shown that chronic anger is linked to higher mortality rates, particularly among seniors. Prolonged exposure to stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline weakens the cardiovascular system, increases inflammation, and compromises immune function. Over time, this constant state of heightened alertness wears down the body's natural defenses, making it more susceptible to life-threatening conditions like heart disease, stroke, and even cancer. A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Psychosomatic Research found that individuals with frequent anger episodes were significantly more likely to experience premature death compared to those who maintained emotional stability. The researchers concluded that unmanaged anger could increase the risk of mortality by as much as 30%. This heightened risk is not just theoretical, it's a reality faced by many seniors who allow anger to dictate their lives. Take the example of Richard, a 79-year-old man who had battled high blood pressure for 4 years. His frequent angry outbursts only exacerbated his condition. After a severe heart attack, his doctors warned him that his uncontrolled anger was a major factor contributing to his declining health. Unfortunately, Richard didn't take their advice seriously, and within 2 years, he suffered a fatal stroke. How can you protect yourself from this fate? The key lies in prioritizing emotional regulation. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and breathing exercises can help you manage anger before it spirals out of control. Additionally, seeking support from a therapist or a counselor can be instrumental in developing healthier coping mechanisms. Building positive routines such as engaging in hobbies or maintaining social connections can also provide emotional balance. By actively working to control your anger, you are not only improving your emotional health, but also potentially adding years to your life. Uncontrolled anger is more than just a fleeting emotion. It's a health risk that can affect nearly every aspect of your life. From the heightened risk of heart attacks and strokes to cognitive decline, immune system breakdown, and social isolation, the consequences of unmanaged anger can be devastating. And as research has shown, allowing anger to control your life can even shorten your lifespan. But here's the good news. Acknowledging these dangers is the first step toward meaningful change. Anger itself isn't the enemy, it's a natural emotion that everyone experiences. The real challenge lies in how you manage it. By embracing techniques like meditation, controlled breathing exercises, and building stronger social connections, you can transform anger from a destructive force into a manageable emotion. Finding healthy outlets for your frustration and seeking support when needed are powerful tools for reclaiming your emotional well-being. If you found these insights helpful, I encourage you to share your own experiences in the comments below. Have you found ways to control your anger effectively? What challenges are you still facing? Let's learn from one another and grow together. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more life-changing advice designed to help you thrive in your golden years.